Hey everybody, it is 7 o'clock and welcome to Straight Up Talk Boston. With Joey Canzano, Johnny Peasy, and me, Billy Pizzulo, have we got a show for you tonight. Hey everybody, welcome to Straight Up Talk Boston. It's Billy Pizzulo right here with Joey Canzano, Johnny Peasy, and our special guest, Paul D'Angelo.
Paul D.
Hello, gentlemen.
Say hello, everybody.
Well, I want to say this, Billy. You look fantastic with your little outfit
I got my
on,
little outfit, my
straight
little
up
hat, my
with the hat and the shirt. And Dizzy over here, Dizzy Canzano, he's got his black shirt on, looking like a real tough mafiosa guy.
I'm representing.
And I have
Johnny's got his pink shirt on.
My little pink shirt on.
Pinky.
It's more like more like salmon. Salmon.
Imagine the nerve.
A dusty rose.
Well, I am so excited. Ladies and gentlemen out there, we have with us today Paul D'Angelo, who I have known over 40 years, and very exciting. We're going to ask him some really good questions, but Joey doesn't want me to get into the questions that quick because Joey wants to, swoon over Paul being
Absolutely.
here.
Well, absolutely. If I'm going to,
This is called Straight Up. Can I?
Straight Up
Can
Talk
I?
Boston.
Can I make something straight right now?
you are the guest.
Okay. What did you use for a promo for this thing?
What did
you use for a promo for this show? What clip did you? I know it was you because you don't know how to work a computer.
That was actually him.
No.
He did all the promos.
The thing with the which routine was it?
What do you mean?
The acronym routine.
Right, the acronym routine. All right, so about 10 years ago, I used to do that for corporate shows because every time I do a convention or something, the CEOs, the CFOs, and stuff like that. So I did that at a corporate show with you and another comedian, a legendary comedian, and he said to you, he says, "Oh, I've seen that done before, and you didn't stick up for me. So I want to set something straight tonight." I wrote that in the Eagle's Nest at Boston College in 1978, the spring of '78, 7 years before I did comedy. And I did it. I got on a tape of me doing it in '86 at Stevie D's, and even Good Morning Vietnam came out in '87. So people that came out, they go, "Oh, he took your bit and everything." So I just want to set the thing straight that I was the first one that ever did.
As you know, Paul, that's my favorite bit of all time.
But I mean, that goes back to Boston. I never thought of being a comic then. I was in the, I think we were drinking scotch or something.
Wow, that's
drinking.
good.
Greatest bit I ever heard.
Well, that takes me to, so Paul, how did you first get started in comedy?
I had no intention of being a comedian. I never gave it any thought, although I loved comedians. I used to listen to Bill Cosby albums, watched all the comedians on Ed Sullivan Show.
What did you learn from Bill Cosby?
What did I learn?
It wasn't comedy.
I learned that even if you're an incredibly rich and successful comedian, you still need help to get laid. That's what I learned from Bill Cosby. Tastes like pudding.
Now, who was you?
We didn't answer the question.
Oh, go ahead.
So,
see what I got to deal with every week on Paul?
So you got to get to the next question.
I never thought, but I started going to live comedy at the Comedy Connection down on, what was it? With Nick. On the street.
The theater district.
Yeah.
Warrington Street.
And the guy I loved was Stephen Wright. I used to try to go watch Stephen Wright. So I never thought of doing it myself until my roommate from college, my best friend from college, asked me to do a roast at his bachelor party. And I go, okay. So I wrote stuff for like 2 months, and I came up with 45 minutes. If I got shit-faced first, did that thing, and now everyone's coming up, "Oh, we want to hire you." I go, no, this is a one-time thing. And now when I go back to the Comedy Connection or whatever, I'm not just a spectator. I'm going, maybe I can do this, And so I wrote for a year or so before I ever got on stage because I couldn't go through that obligatory period of sucking because my parents were going, "What the hell are you doing?" In fact, they made me quit. I only did maybe 20 open mics in 1985, and I quit because my parents said, "What are you doing? You're a good lawyer. You shouldn't be doing this." So, and then I came back in '86. No. But I started because, my first night was Louis C.K.'s first open mic ever. Louis told me that. We signed up Stitches on Com Ave.
Okay, just during our little interviews, don't use these big words, obligatory. What does that mean?
You can take the boy out of East Boston,
Wow,
but you can't.
obligatory. I'm gonna use that for the rest of the night. Joey, how's
Probably
your
the first time I've ever used that in a sense of my life.
Joey? How's your obligatory?
I'm a very
He
sick
sprained
man.
it at the gym.
Now, who are your biggest influences in comedy?
You know what? They would ask me that in interviews, and I would always mention the comedians on Ed Sullivan and the storytelling from Bill Cosby. But it was really my father and my Uncle Vito, because we lived in the same house together. And here's my Irish father, my Italian Uncle Vito, and they would just tell my father could tell jokes. He could tell the two Irish
Yeah, yeah.
guys. Uncle Vito told stories about the Italian man.
Right.
He got a mustache better than mine.
So you got a little of both of them.
So
right?
I used to
Yeah,
watch them,
yeah.
and they would be three deep around the table, and they'd be going back and forth. And I said, "Wow, look at you can make people laugh."
Right.
So
you have,
they
what
were
I
really my
remember with
first
your dad, he
influences.
was a very funny guy.
He was
always,
extremely funny.
yeah,
and Uncle
always.
Vito too. Uncle Vito too, yeah.
Now, Paul, you haven't been on since around September, October, so a lot of people won't know that they don't know what we're talking about. You were an attorney. Tell them, people out there, that you were an attorney, become a DA.
I was an assistant district attorney, Essex County, 11 years. Then I was supposed to move to L.A. and reluctantly, and by total serendipity, I ended up as a criminal defense trial attorney. I was very successful at that, but I was not happy, and I gave up my practice and moved to Hollywood for 6 years, and then came back.
And you never went back into law?
No.
Okay.
No.
Straight
People
comedy.
call me now, and they're saying, I want you to represent me. I said, would you go to a doctor that hasn't practiced, done an operation 20-something years? No. So,
Do you
still
do you
take-
miss it?
huh?
Do you miss it?
I miss being a prosecutor, because I did the right thing. You know, so you stole a car, you broke into the house, you killed somebody. I put you in jail. Now I'm a defense attorney. I said I did good things for bad people.
That's funny.
You know, and so
That's the reason why you wanted out, because
and-
you didn't want to do that
Well, you know, my final case that broke the camel's back, I had a motor vehicle homicide case, and this kid was drunk, and he ran down this, a great young boy who was a high school honor roll student and everything. And I'm there with crying family. I'm on TV, you know. There's the crying family, the crying victim's family. Everybody's crying, and I'm going, I could be telling jokes in Vegas or on a cruise ship. Now, why am I with all these crying people? I could be with laughing people. And that was it. After that, I wound down my practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me some of your biggest challenges when it comes to entertainment and the entertainment business, Paul.
My challenge in the entertainment business was the entertainment business. I was out in L.A. for 6 years, and I always wondered why nobody ever gave me a shot. And, you know, only recently I realized I wasn't one of them. I'm seeing what Hollywood's like, really, and I wasn't one of them. First of all, they couldn't bullshit me because I had been a DA and
Right.
a lawyer.
Attorney.
Everybody was bullshitting. Every manager, everybody was screwing everybody out there. There was no scruples, no nothing. And I saw that it had nothing to do with talent. It was all about whatever else, but not necessarily talent. And so, I mean, I had my Suckworld routine on. They had 5 o'clock funnies out there. They said it was the most listened to one, except for Tim Allen, when Tim Allen used to do the caveman stuff. So I mean, it doesn't make sense. But the biggest challenge is like going to my father, who I gave up a legal career, and he's saying, "How come this guy's made it?" And you, and I go, "Dad, it's not like the minors where they bring you up if you're hitting 350. You know, it's like it's hit or miss and stuff like that." And he was the only guy I really wanted to please. You know, my father, my family. You know, and so it was less disappointing to me than the way I felt about. They felt about me, but anyway.
Who are some of the people you've opened up for, Paul, that you think that maybe some of the people you were on, like Johnny opened up for Engelbert. You opened up for Engelbert too.
I opened up. I was blessed to open up for over 60. A lot of people don't know. I've done this 40 years, as Johnny said, and the first probably 4 years I used the guitar in my act, and I just do funny songs at the end.
I didn't know you back then.
Yeah, I would do. If I had to do a 45, 50-minute show, the first 40 minutes was stand-up, and then I'd pick up the guitar and do songs. And then finally I said I got tired of getting there early and setting it up. I got tired of having to carry it. I got tired. I had too many things to say. I was writing and writing and writing. So I stopped using the guitar, but that guitar was my ticket to do a lot of these theaters. I used to do all the theaters, and I got to, Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin and oh my,
the list.
honest to God is I met very few of these people, to be honest with you. But
Really? So you're-
Meatloaf for 4 years, Eddie Money for 3 years, REO Speedwagon 3 years, Hall & Oates, the Monkees, Tony Bennett, Tom Jones, Engelbert, fucking Lyle Lovett,
So you didn't have
Chicago, the Beach Boys.
You didn't have an opportunity to go backstage and meet these guys.
No, and nobody. Sometimes but just cursory. Just like hi, nice to meet you, and nobody had a phone with a camera on it back then. I got one picture with me because I worked with Meatloaf for a whole bunch of years, and the only picture I got me and Meatloaf, I got my eyes closed. So, but people didn't take pictures. Plus, I didn't want to bother them. I'm not a
Right, it looks like
starstruck.
like an amateur. You look like an amateur if you start like you.
I did say to Meatloaf though, we were in the dressing room and they had like the deli platter, and they give him grapes and stuff. And Meatloaf's got grapes, and his guitar player, who I think was Pat Thrall, who's a great guitar, and Meatloaf's going like this. He throws a grape and it hits him in the forehead, bounces off. Then he throws two more and it goes in the mouth. I go, hey, Meat. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. He said, that's a bad joke, man. Yeah. But I got to say that to him.
He's dead now,
great.
didn't he?
You know how I got started?
Oh,
No, he died. Yeah, he
Oh,
died.
he died, yeah.
Johnny's wrong again.
You know how I got? You want to tie these two jobs in together? How I got started doing all the shows in the theaters for all these things? My friend was the manager of John Entwistle. John Entwistle, bass player for The Who. Of
course.
They were coming in from Canada with the 18-wheeler, with the buses and everything. One of the roadies had some coke on him, and they're taking apart the thing. They got me on the phone for 2-3 hours giving legal advice to them, to help them get out of this situation because they got shows to come in the States. They didn't want to get all held up and everything. I'm on the phone. My reward was I got to open up for Meatloaf for the John Entwistle band at the JR's Fast Lane in Providence, Rhode Island, and the Channel, and that's how I got started, because that mixed the comedy and you know what I said to John Entwistle? My friend says, "Hey, you want to meet John?" Yeah. He's at a Holiday Inn in Mansfield. He says, "I'll be right down." Right? Oh my God, I'm a monstrous Who fan.
Who fan, right?
Monstrous. So I go in the room and my friend says, "John, this is my friend Paul." And I said, "I loved you in Zeppelin." And he goes, "Who is this bloke?" He goes, "He's the guy who helped us out in Canada." Oh, and and that was.
He'd know you were kidding, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's my first words to him.
Who's this bloke?
Listen to this. The Hall & Oates, Hall & Oates was doing an acoustic tour, and they were fantastic. And I'm at the Club Casino in Hampton, and everyone's coming up. Oh my God, Hall & Oates manager, he loves you. They're gonna take you on the road. They're on a national tour, and everyone's high-fiving me and everything. What do I do? He's in the office with Jimmy Goodwin. So I walk in the office. I go, "Excuse me, you want to speak to me?" He goes, "Yeah, that's all we need, a fucking DA on the bus." And they said, "I'll quit. I smoke pot." And they walked away. And oh Jesus, story of my life.
Did you was Entwistle with? He wasn't with the Who, right? He was in his own band.
No. They'd broken up. He had guys like a hodgepodge of guys
Hired
from
band.
other bands.
Yeah.
And they weren't that good because he was so much better than them.
Oh,
it was
monster bass
obvious.
player.
Yeah.
That was Lou Spagnola's idol, Entwistle and John Paul Jones.
Yeah, he's
Led Zeppelin, John.
I know.
You didn't know.
I just saw a special on Netflix on the Who. I mean on
Zeppelin.
on Zeppelin.
Who's on first?
Well, I don't know. Third base.
Johnny still believes we landed on the moon.
Oh,
landing.
shut up, Scanzano.
Hey,
I had to throw that in.
you
there.
guys loved it. But it's you know what? It's good rate. What is it? It's good. You used to say it's good TV. It's good pod.
Well, I mean,
It's
we
good.
always have to mention it once in a while, and we always have to say, "Johnny, there's your toilet paper over in case any accidents."
This is relevant, but I dated. No kidding. I dated a female astronaut.
Come on.
Yeah, we broke up. She said she needed space.
Oh, wait a minute.
But
Hey, you know what's worse than that? For years I thought Juggernaut was a astronaut with big tits.
Paul, do you prefer?
Those are my only astronaut jokes. And that's
Go
why
ahead,
I don't
Johnny.
use those.
Paul, do you prefer large venues or a nice, intimate, small clubs?
Wow. These are good questions, Johnny.
Thank you.
You know what?
It takes all week to write them.
No, you know what, Johnny? It all. There's so many variables, as you know, with comedy. It was the lighting, the mood, the weather, the sound system, the way the tables are set up, whether there's distractions and everything like that. So, I love doing a theater because pretty much everybody's sitting in a seat. They got to face you. I mean, you got everybody's attention. So I love that type of a big venue, but there's nothing like people being in there and there's a steamy room with a low ceiling and stuff. I mean, some of those nights at Giggles. I mean, it could be 10,000 people, but instead you get like 200 in it, but it's just magic. It's nice.
But you do have to deal with, Paul. You still have to deal with the idiots that talk and they still play with their phone.
Can I tell you something? I don't get that stuff that much. I don't do
Really?
those shows, the comedy rooms. I don't get. You don't get hecklers really that much.
No, I don't mean hecklers. I'm talking
you
about
go
people with phones.
That's just part of what it is now, though, Joey. There are comedians that we work with. We won't mention any names. That freak out when they see one person on the phone. Now, I want to tell you, a lot of times, sometimes I watch some other comedians, and I'll look in the room. There's no matter who's on stage, there's always somebody on their phone doing something.
And Johnny, if there's 300 people in the audience, that's the one fucking guy you look at. Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, but
that's the difference when I play in my brother's band, and I said, the difference with this in comedy? I said, we're playing. There's only a few people really paying attention to what we're playing. Everybody else is talking. In comedy, there's 300 people. One guy's talking. You go, hey, shut up.
I know.
Well,
So
you don't mind
it's a
the
different
comedians. Every comedian that I've been worked with, there's a few that take it to another level. But the few that I've noticed, they don't care if someone's playing on their phone, because if they don't want to pay attention, it's when they start when the bing goes, the text message tone goes off. Or they start talking. I mean, people have actually. I've seen people
I
talking.
read, this is honest to God thing, I read that the average cell phone, your iPhone, has 100 times more bacteria than the average toilet seat. That's an honest quote, unquote. And then I thought about it. That's because the average toilet seat can only accommodate one asshole at a time. How many assholes are on my phone?
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, cell phones have actually stopped people in cars from masturbating. Do you know that? Because
No, I don't. I'm dying to
that was
find
the
out.
number one place people would masturbate. Were in cars.
And
Women,
where are those places, Johnny?
They're in traffic. That's what people do in traffic. No, this is
Really?
now that phones come out, very few people masturbate now.
Come
in a car.
on.
Yeah, in cars.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth.
You're a comedian. You got to be joking.
I am not joking. Vertigo.
Billy, what do you think, Billy? Is he?
I think that he's right, because I used to drive a truck, and when I drove truck,
You used to masturbate?
no, I used to see everybody masturbate.
Come on.
He's looking down. He's looking
I used
down.
to see women given
Yeah.
head.
Come
Yeah.
on. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, I know that,
yeah.
but
Oh, you know that,
I'm
Joe?
masturbating though. I never heard of that in my life.
No, it's the truth. It is the
in
truth.
traffic?
Yeah.
Well,
When people
Paul
are in
gotta-
traffic, they're
Paul's
bored.
gotta-
See, now they're on their phone.
Yes.
But before, there was no phone, so they'd be in the car
And that's
pleasing
why the
themselves.
birth rate is going down. Everybody's on these freaking phones.
You're right.
You know what? Now I know why, because I had to do a show in Plymouth
Yeah.
this weekend, and I had to go through Boston, and I go, how do these people stand it in this traffic? And now I know.
Yeah.
You have
How do you? I would go crazy if I had to do this every day. And now I know they're all in there diddling themselves.
I got to tell you
That's
something.
awful.
One of the things I admire about Paul D'Angelo, that after all the years he's been doing comedy, he still cares. Now, we did a show about 3 nights ago. We were in Plymouth together. I did Walking On Magic. You guys did the show.
Yeah.
I heard they were phenomenal.
Oh, they loved you,
Yeah.
Johnny. You did a great job that night. Yeah.
That was fun. They were really receptive. So we're doing a show for the Italian American sports in Malden. And here's the thing. They weren't a great crowd, okay? But here's the reason why. Because they had kids in the crowd. There's the one thing is when they changed the whole complexity, big word, the whole complexity of a show, because adults do not respond the way they would normally respond when there's no kids in there.
Right.
It's like peeing in the pool. They pee in the pool. You just you peed over here, and everybody's affected by it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
And so, but the thing was, so I went on, I did my time, and then Artie went on, and yeah, I knew he just ran out after a set, boom, probably felt that he didn't. And Paul went on. Now I watched Paul, and you did a really nice job. They were laughing, but you couldn't.
It's not what your normal response that you. Yeah,
Well, exactly. But
I left the building like John Wilkes Booth.
Exactly.
You kidding me?
I know.
I had a carriage waiting for me outside,
But
and then you called me
I
up.
called him up
and
and-
I was relieved because they go, "Oh, it wasn't me. They were really tough. They
See?
were not easy. Plus,
Yeah.
it was about 110 degrees in there.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
makes it all these things. Didn't I just say the different fact is?
Oh, of course.
The room's like 100 degrees and everybody's wilting because they've been sitting there for a few hours.
So what is the biggest nightmare for both of you? Question for both of you stand-up comics. What is the nightmare of a room for a comic?
The only time, and Johnny's a pro. Johnny's every time does a great job. So he will agree with this. Is that the only time we're going to have a bad show at this level is we know it's going to be bad before we even step on the stage.
Exactly.
This is going to
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Because it could be a variety of, in Chicago, I went on in the daytime between funk bands at an all-black festival. So I don't even have to tell you that was difficult. Okay.
Well, Steve
So-
Sweeney told us about a disaster in Louisville, Kentucky, and one of the guys come up to the end of this. I could see you would be good where you from or something like that, because he was telling jokes more or less from the East Coast.
Yeah.
But they were giving him a compliment, a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
No,
But
this
he-
was
but
because
he-
it was outdoors.
Right.
And there was 10,000 people, and the funk band ends and everybody and now I'm on stage and I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get them. I'm doing all right. Guy on the side of the stage like this. He grabs the mic. He said, "We got a lost little boy named Leroy. If you've seen him, please report to us. Thank you very much." And I go, "Thanks. Go back to your set." I go, "Okay, I got to get the momentum going again." Now he's on the other side. Again, right in the middle of a punchline. He go, "Yes. If we could start getting search parties to go out for Leroy." And no, this is honest to God. If we could just, team up with things. We got the lake behind us. They're dragging the lake now and all this stuff. Next thing now, oh, Jesus, now people are going, "What are you still doing?" I said, "I got to get paid. Why are you still doing this? The boy's missing." Now, I said, "I'm going to do my time. I got to do my time." And I do my time. Now, they're on the side of the stage again. The mother comes out, "Leroy, please, I love you. I love you, Leroy. Please come back." The woman was a crackhead. The kid was asleep in the back seat of the car. But it made the worst miserable day of my life.
Wow.
This is Chicago?
In Chicago.
Shocking.
Well, I met these black guys came up to me at a show at the Comedy Store in Sunset, and he said, "I came to get black comedians for all black festival, but he says you talk about stuff. It doesn't matter what your color is and stuff." And I was flat. I was first white guy to ever do a set at a place called All Jokes Aside, which was a high-end comedy club in Chicago. And my first, I go, I'm going to say something. They're either going to love me or hate me from the beginning. And the first thing I just looked around the room. I said, "I feel like a penguin in the Bahamas," and they all started laughing, and it all went great and everything. But
Did you have any? We know about one particular show that was a disaster.
which disaster?
One in East Boston.
When they threw they threw the knife at you.
I eat at Sonny Noto's twice a week. Richie's a friend of mine. Yeah, that was the Noto family. Yeah, and Kenny probably and everything. Yeah. That was and you're part of that story. That's when I learned if you ever want to get the word out to as many people as possible, tell Johnny not to mention it. I swear to God. Telephone, telegraph, telepeasy. Because all right, so I go to make a long story short. I'm living in L.A. I'm not getting paid hardly anything for the shows out there. So I come back to Boston. I kept my place here, and I would come back for 2-3 weeks at a time, work every night, take the money, and go back to L.A. So I'm flying back to L.A. In the morning on a Monday morning. Sunday, Mike Clark calls me up. "You want to do a wedding rehearsal dinner in East Boston?" I said, it like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, "Absolutely not. That sounds like a horror show. There's a situation you go, oh no, that's good." He goes, "They pay cash." I go, "What time should I be there?" So I go to the thing, and the little Italian mother comes over. She's wearing all black because somebody died in the 50s, and she says, "Paul, that's my son, Kenny. That's his wife. Paul, and they get married. You busted their balls. You do whatever. You want me to bust their balls? Yeah, I do. So I do the whole thing. Where's the microphone? No microphone. Where's the stage? No stage. All right. So I got out in front of everyone just talking, and it's going great, Johnny. Great. It's going great. Wow. So I decided, do you remember when I first started the joke? I used to end out with the married couple would come home and the wife's, where you been? I'm waiting up for you. Instead, you slam the door. You yell up to the bedroom, honey, I'm home. I want a blowjob. And when you're guaranteed to go up to the bedroom, right? Guy, steroid enraged brother with veins popping out. He's going to go, that's my sister you're talking about. And throws a knife like threw the knife and just missed me. Like I always thought if in a situation like that, I'd be like, the Matrix, you know, the only reaction I had, I went, fuck. That's all. Fuck.
Slow motion.
Yeah, and it just missed me, and the brawl went out into the street. And there's like 20 people, they're fighting, everything. Finally, it calms down. The mother turns around, she goes, he's an asshole anyway. Finish your show. I go, I got to change my underwear. You just did. So anyway, I leave there. I go back and I got a show at Giggles right after that. And Johnny Peasy in back, he goes, you look like you saw a ghost. I tell him the story. I go, whatever you do, don't tell Mike Clark, because he got me the thing. I was flying out the next day. I lost the cassette. I had the cassette with Mike Clark. He's going, Paul, yeah, the wedding is off. There's a feud in the family. You started a fight. The wedding is off. It's all over. It's all over.
I got even one to bet it.
Have a nice flight. I thought I had a fatwa against me. The hitman was going to get me.
I can add to this story because I was the entertainment for that wedding. And I got a call from the mother of the bride, Sylvia, and she said,
"Don't tell any jokes."
She says the wedding's off.
Oh.
I didn't know Paul at the time.
Oh.
The wedding was off, and they rescheduled it.
You knew me. You knew me. Yeah, you knew me.
Well, no, wait a minute, Paul.
Yeah, you knew me because this was like 2000 and maybe like 2000.
No, I think you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because I'm autistic and I remember dates.
Nobody's arguing with you.
No, but I do. I remember it was 1998, I believe.
I'm excellent at dates. I'm excellent. I'm excellent at dates.
I believe.
Ask me a date. I'm excellent. I'm excellent.
I believe the date was rescheduled to 98. It was
98.
It was
98.
It was scheduled.
Date's 98.
You're an excellent driver too.
Excellent. Dates.
We're in further alone.
But it was a true story. I got canceled and then they rescheduled it.
So what you want me to pay you? You want me to give you?
You owe me.
Yeah. This water is the first drink you bought me in 35 years. Okay. Yeah.
That's a funny story, but it's a true story.
True
too.
story.
Paul, like myself, we do a lot of benefits. We do a lot of fundraisers. We're always willing to give back and help out. And we've been in some situations, man, that there's been times there's been a person who's dying of cancer, and they're on stage next to you in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me. I get the willies.
Yeah.
Just thinking, cause
and it's the truth. And and then they're standing, they're watching you, and you're trying to do your act, and people are crying. You might have even there was a kid. Do you remember the story? He played hockey, high school hockey.
Oh, LaMontagne.
No. I know the kid you're talking about.
Travis Roy.
No. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Well, the only two that I know that had hockey acting.
Dizzy. Let me finish. Okay. So this
Gillespie.
kid broke his back playing high school hockey. He was from Peabody. So he goes to the Bonaconi spine place in Miami.
I do remember that. No.
They get him back walking. So finally, this is like 2 years later. He's walking, he's kind of skating a little bit. So he says to his doctor, he says, "Can I play hockey again?" And the doctor goes, "I don't see why not." So now he's college age. He goes to play, and he breaks his neck in a different spot, and he ends up in the wheelchair again.
I didn't remember
Johnny,
that.
don't you remember we did that for?
No, but that's a whole different guy, Joey.
Really?
But this kid here. So now he's up there. The was in Giggles. You could not move in the place. That's how many people were there. You couldn't move. And he's with his mother, and he's in the wheelchair, and he's going, "I'm so sorry, Mom. I did that, put you all through this." And every people crying and crying and crying. Everybody's crying. He talks for like 30 minutes, apologizing. Everybody's crying, and he goes, "Okay, here's the mic, and here's it to me."
Yeah.
And I'm just standing there like,
Johnny, but I think
We've
that's
all
the
been
kid
in a
from Peabody.
situation
No,
like
it's
that,
not.
too.
Wasn't
Did
the
he
one?
pass away, the guy?
No, listen,
kid?
Joey.
Yes.
No, he didn't pass away.
Well, how many people broke their neck from
Just
Peabody
let him
playing
tell
hockey?
his story, you big bully.
No,
It wasn't
there's-
that guy. That's the guy we used to do the thing for Tomasi.
Yes,
Tomasi.
yes.
I used to put the.
That's a
I used to put the whole.
He's from Peabody
Yeah,
also.
yeah. But this is somebody
All
totally
right, so
different.
two people from Peabody
Yeah.
broke their back
Why?
playing hockey.
Why you don't think that
well,
could
it's
happen?
very, very
I
rare.
know someone from Saugus who broke his back.
Yeah,
playing hockey.
I know.
It's just a
What's his
coincidence.
name?
Steve. What's his name?
No, it wasn't
No,
Steve.
it wasn't Steve. It was. She's a friend of Christina's. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
She grew
yeah,
up with him.
yeah.
She grew
Is
up
that
with
kid
him.
still alive that you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, then,
yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
you're
the
right,
one-
it is a different, 'cause the
it's
other
a
kid
different one.
passed.
Yeah, the other one.
Okay.
But what? Yeah, that we used to do it. Used to do that every year. That we used to make, $40,000-$50,000 in one night, and then that would be help them out with different things medically. But we've been in a lot of those situations, Paul.
Oh, absolutely,
My
yeah.
God in heaven, Paul. Have you ever been on stage and in the middle of a joke forget the punchline?
No.
You've never? No, that's never happened.
No.
Wow.
No.
Do you ever get nervous?
The only times I get nervous is if there's someone in the audience that's important to me and I want it to go well.
Yeah.
Not nervous to perform. The only time I get nervous too is if it's like one of those situations like we said. You go, oh God, this is. I mean,
If it's really important.
Eddie Andelman just passed away.
I know.
Yes,
That's right.
Remember,
Yeah.
you used to do those hot dog.
Yeah, the hot dog safari. We did those.
And you go do comedy, and nobody's listening.
Oh.
And it's like, but you just like you go through, but you know that you say, okay, I'm doing a good thing. I'm
That's
donating
ironic,
my
Johnny.
time, and literally nobody's listening, and you can't even hear yourself over the crowd.
We
we've
were
done
just
stuff like that,
talking about
and that
Eddie
makes me
and
nervous because I go, oh, this
last
is
week
gonna suck.
with Bobby Wong. We were just talking about Eddie.
Right.
Imagine
Yeah,
that.
because Eddie Andelman was
Very close.
responsible for bringing in Bill Blumenreich to the Kowloons.
Yes.
He actually took it away from Nick's comedy stuff.
This is the 40th year that I've worked at the Kowloon. I get Andy Wong's card that says, present for a free appetizer, good till October 1985. And there used to be, when you walked in the Kowloon to the right, where that bar is, it's
Yeah.
nice. That used to be like a cave.
It
was
was, I
dark.
remember
It
that.
had a sunken
Yes.
thing, and the only people in there were like having affairs, and they could smoke in the back. Who's these people? And every time you do a joke, the blender would go on, and it just when you get into the punchline.
Did you do comedy in that little cave?
Oh
area?
yeah, they called it the
This
Temple,
Bobby was
Temple
talking
of
about.
Doom. I think it might have been Barry Katz that booked that. Seriously, this
Maybe.
is 1987. Was the
Wow.
first year I won. I really
There's
did.
another time. There's another time that you get nervous too is when it's on camera and it's in real
Because you want it to go well. Yeah, yeah.
You're not because
Oh, Johnny will tell you. You always like how many times you get off stage. You go, I wish there was a camera. This,
Yeah,
this, that,"
exactly,
because
I
you know there's
know.
no camera. But now if I'm doing a camera and the guy's filming me, I'm thinking about. I don't want to miss. You're thinking about it instead
Right,
of just
let it
doing it like
flow.
you naturally
Yeah.
would.
Yeah, 'cause
So,
you-
oh fuck, I missed that word. Or I stumbled. Or,
Like,
I mean, if
you
I
gotta be
if I see a
like,
video,
okay.
if I stumble on a word, I lose the time.
Is it better to have someone record you when not even telling you?
Well, that'd be hard to do a little bit. you
well,
know,
if you're
yeah.
doing a comedy special for Showtime,
yeah.
it makes it a little difficult because
Yeah, they put camouflage on the cameras, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know it. Yeah.
no, but
Dizzy Gillespie over here.
It's a mindset because honestly, same thing happened to me. I was on Showtime at the Apollo, and I don't get nervous when I sing, but I got so nervous my mouth got all dry, and then they did me dirty too on Showtime at the Apollo. They changed the key of the song
Oh
without
no,
telling me.
that's fatal.
And it was he played this really weird chord. I don't sing flat. I never have sung. I get all. Joey will tell you. I get all. I look at him with like he's got four heads. If he sings a bad note, my ear is really tuned. But when they played this chord, man, I sang a whole line flat on national television.
Jesus.
I was so pissed that I backed up, took a step back. I almost walked off the stage.
Wow.
But the next note, I came back. It's the highest note in the song, and I hit the note perfectly, and I got the crowd back. But
wow.
But you do when it's important, and you got that.
Even when it's not important, if I play my guitar and I'll get some song, I'll go, I got that solo perfect, right? And I go, oh, I want to record it, and now I got to record it.
And you mess it up. Yeah.
Yeah, because the first time you're not thinking about it,
Even if we're doing a commercial for us, How many takes do we take? Honestly, we screw up so often.
one
I'm
night-
like,
I am one take Peasy.
Oh, okay.
Come on, I'm one
You're
take
more, you're more like
Peasy.
one shot Peasy.
Paul, how come you don't play guitar at all with your brother's band? I mean, you've been playing guitar for a while.
Because when you do the comedy, I get enough attention doing that.
No, but
that's his
not about
project, yeah.
attention. But I mean, you have the ability to play.
Well, you get the guitar player in the band is Paul Schaber, who went to Berkeley. He's brilliant. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, it all works. I'm like the punter on the band. No, if we do a Marshall Tucker song on the harmonica, I'm doing the flute part. If we do Springsteen, I'm doing Clarence's. I'm doing a saxophone. You know, so I kind of like the versatile guy. But it's really my brother Chris's.
Yeah.
And my brother Chris wrote 3 fantastic songs that we taped at Doug Batchelor's Den studio in North Reading, and it really, I swear, a guy like Kenny Chesney or somebody like that, man, these songs could be a.
All it would take
That's
would be
what I was
one
gonna ask you.
one
I,
group.
I
That's
Yeah.
don't
what I
know,
was
I
gonna
don't know
ask
how
you.
you
Did
get
they-
it to people. I got to help my brother because
Yeah, you can definitely get it
I'm
to
not saying it
people.
because of my brother. I mean, you know, like I've heard amazing musicians. I know so many musicians that are friends of mine and stuff play songs, but these songs are like commercial. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I could see because you listen to it and you go, I'm still singing it like an hour
Commercial
later, you know?
sells.
Right. There
Yeah.
are songs that people write that I listen to them and I'm like, yeah, no, I would never send that to anybody.
Yeah.
But the songs you're talking about, I've heard the songs. They are marketable.
Why don't
without
you
doubt.
make a video, Paul, and just
Definitely
post it all
marketable.
over social media?
That's something.
You know what? Tell me this. When my concept of what I thought social media was, you do something, you do it well, you post it on there, and it's like exponential.
Blows
hey,
up.
We like this. We'll send this to somebody. I get my videos, and it always seems like the same people. I'm not like, how do I get this to Indiana? People in Indiana. How do I get somebody in Florida to see this? Somebody in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if my brother's cat fell off the radiator.
Everybody and their grandmother posts it.
Otto
It's the
used to
truth.
say radiator. Radiator.
Yeah,
It's
everybody
a
posts
million,
it.
million
It's a million
views.
because
I don't get it.
I think you got to talk to your friends that you know that have a lot of following. If you got something you want to post, like you send it over. I get over 5,000.
The most
friends.
famous
He's
person
got-
I know is Johnny Peasy.
Wow.
Johnny
Oh, because he
fantastic.
posts every hour.
Exponential. You did it again, Paul. You're using big words here. Exponential. What does that mean?
Exponential?
He said exponential.
Exponential. Good. Explain that one.
I don't even remember how I used it. Jesus, I'm just so fascinated by it.
All right, next question.
I might leave.
Paul,
here
do you
a
think-
little dumber than I was?
Do you think coming from New England hurt your career or helped your career?
You want to hear a funny thing?
Yes.
I was coming out doing a set at the Improv on Melrose in L.A. And there's a manager and an agent like talking, and I come off and they go, "We're just talking about you." I go, "What?" One guy says, "I told people you're never going to make it until you lose that Boston accent." And the other guy said, "I told him that your Boston accent is what sets you apart." I go, "Even if I bothered to change my accent, I'd still be disappointing half of you guys. So why? I want to be true to myself."
Right.
And stuff. But Boston, this is my mistake when I went to L.A. I was there and do you want to do a sitcom? Oh, okay. Do you want to do this? I didn't realize till later all I wanted to do was be a stand-up. I didn't care about I didn't want to do a TV show. I didn't want to do all I wanted to do was be a stand-up. So I should have gone to New York. That's the only thing that I would have changed in my life. I
Going
have no
to New York
regrets of anything.
first, yeah.
Because it was more comic centric, you know. I could have worked every club and everything, and it would have. I didn't want to do that stuff, but it was a good lesson.
So you
know,
think if you went to New York first,
well, if you think
prior to California?
No, just instead of California, it would have been more suited because I didn't know what I wanted. All I wanted to do was be a stand-up and be able to walk into a place like I'd walk into a place here instead in New York or L.A. and have, "Oh, Paul's here, put him up." That's all I want. I don't, not for fame, not for anything, just for
So why do you think you went to
recognition.
L.A.? Why do you think you went to? What was the
Because you can't fucking park your car in New York, and it's dirty, and there's graffiti, and people get stabbed, and you got to take the subway everywhere and go from club to club, and everything in L.A. had palm trees, and it didn't have a winter, and
Yeah.
it was 80 degrees and every day and boring.
And how
because
many
it was
years were
like-
you out there, Paul?
I was there 6 years, but I could have failed in 3.
Right.
Now, did you get to meet Bud Friedman at all?
Oh, of course, yeah. Bud Friedman. My home club down there was the Hermosa Beach Comedy and Magic Club, and they had the best. The guys would come through there, Rodney and Richard
Jay
Lewis
Leno.
and Gary Shandling, and every night David Spade, and every night and stuff like that. And I would headline that club, and they had a thing like where people would call and request a thing. I got it on my refrigerator. I had the second most requests after Rodney Dangerfield. Like, they had a whole list of like 60 people. My name was on the list, and people could check off who they wanted to see.
Paul, did you work Mitzi Shore's place?
You want to hear a funny story about Mitzi? Okay, so I go to do a audition at the Comedy Store, and Patty Ross was tight with Mitzi, so she gets me. This is when I move out there. I go up, I do a job. Of course, it's the first time. I'm a little nervous and everything like that, but it goes really good, you know. So Patty goes to Mitzi, goes, what do you think of
Paul.
my friend? And Mitzi says, he's too polished. He doesn't need a place to work out. He needs an agent. Tell him to come back when he's got his own sitcom. I said, well, I know I really do need a place to work out. I need to get on stage and stuff like that. So I did six auditions for her. Every time I got better and better because I cared less. Every time I did better than I did the time before. And every time different people would go say, she'd say almost the exact same thing. Oh, this guy, yeah, he's too polished. He doesn't need to work out here. He needs so now I'm ready to move back home. I get a call. You got an audition for Mitzi tonight. My 7th time. I go, no, I'm sorry. I said I'm moving back to Boston. I tried 6 times. I give up. Okay. My friend goes, well, no, go now, because you really don't give a shit. You'll have the best set of your life, right? I go, yeah, fuck it. I go, no, I'll take that spot. So I go back, and now I'm in the thing, and it's like magic. You know, the original room is packed. And you know Joey Diaz? You know Diaz. Joey Diaz, my friend Mitch, I call him West Coast Mitch. Cause,
Coco.
Yeah. I call him West Coast Mitch because East Coast Mitch is my friend here. You know, West Coast Mitch is in the back, and Joey Diaz he's talking to Joey Diaz. Joey's friend comes out, he goes, Joey, your friend's ripping the room apart. And Joey goes, yeah, but don't matter how good he does, Mitzi ain't going to pass him. So somebody goes and sees Mitzi that night, and I go, you know what? She's losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe this time she'll think I'm a different person because she said the same thing every time. And this would be funny if it wasn't me. And she goes, so what did you think of Paul tonight? She goes, yeah, I remember him. He ain't getting any worse. That's
Really?
an honest to God quote, which would be funny if it wasn't me. He ain't getting any worse.
Did you meet her personally? Did you ever have a discussion with her?
Not necessarily a discussion. I
No.
met her. You know how I did the main room? Because Bruce Smirnoff got me to headline the Purim show. For all the Jews had their Purim show, which, as Rabbi Schwartz used to say, this is our only happy holiday. All my influences were Jewish. You could think Jerry Lewis, I forgot, yeah, but Woody Allen and Alan King and every
Rickles.
and Rickles and every Mel Brooks, all these people, they were my influences. So I would do these, and Rabbi would go, and now our token goy to headline the show, and they call me, and that's how I did the main room. I did that like 3 or 4 years because Bruce was hoping that Mitzi would see me do the show, but she never did.
Johnny, did you meet Mitzi?
No, I auditioned for her 3 times. The 3rd time, he could come back. She said he can. But where I had a really good experience, the laugh at Jamie Masada.
Yeah.
So when Lenny was at the height of his career, he had the sitcom, and he walked into a place and everybody was like, So and one night I did the Comedy Store. Then we went over to the Laugh Factory, Jamie, and he said to Jamie, Jamie, could Johnny, my friend Johnny, get up here? And he said, oh, yeah, of course, Lenny. So I was following a black comic, Jimmy Brogan, who was the talent coordinator for Jay Leno, comedy, and then me. Black guy went on, then Jimmy Brogan went on, and I went on up to Jimmy Brogan. I did 10 minutes, and it couldn't have went any better. The minute I got off, Jamie Masada said, you are a regular here at the Comedy Store. At the Comedy Factory.
Laugh Factory.
Right? He goes, you're in. You were great. You were, Jimmy Brogan come up to me. Oh my God, why haven't I seen you before? You were unbelievable. You were clean. You were funny. You were great. I want to see more of you. I want to see. He come up to me 4 other times that night to tell me that he wanted to see me again. I was outside talking to Wendy Liedman. He got out of the cab to come back over to me and say, I want to see you again. But I was leaving the next day to come back to Boston. You can't tell him. You know that. You can't tell him that, you know.
Yeah, they want to know.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the opposite. What happened with, so I would he would not give me spots there or give me so late that most people would be gone and stuff like that. And at the Laugh Factory. So, but every time I did a great job there and everything like that. So now there was a DJ who was at one point the number one DJ in LA. His name was Fraser Smith. And he used to run shows, and I would headline all his shows out there. And Fraser calls me one day. He goes, Jamie just started a management company. He goes, and we can sign whoever we want. He goes, as soon as I got out of the meeting, I called you first. I want you on. I go, you better talk to Jamie because for some reason he doesn't really give me any stuff. He's never really, and I've been nothing but nice to him and everything, you know. And so he goes, no, I can sign anyone I want. He called me the next day. He goes, I quit. He says, why? He says, Jamie says, anybody but him. And my right hand to God. My right hand to God.
Wow.
My right hand to God. Yeah, anybody but him. Why? And you know what my father would say? Yeah, he must be pissing somebody. I said, Dad, I'm nice to everybody. I'm respectful to everybody. I do my job. I do it. I don't know why. Who knows why? But there's something, an agenda that has nothing to do with. But try to explain that to your father. You know. Yeah. You know.
Try to explain it to anybody.
You must have been perplexed.
But you know what? You know what was good? I kept writing because it changed me as a writer because it started to suck from the minute I got there. So I started keeping a diary, which ended up being the L.A. Miserables books, and I wrote like 6 books for like 4 years and stuff like that. But it kept because I couldn't get on stage all the time, so it kept my creative juices.
How do you process someone saying that about you when doesn't deserve?
Yeah, but that's just one of several. When I did the Montreal Comedy Festival, I went back with Irvin Arthur. Irvin Arthur was like, remember the movie Broadway Danny Rose?
Sure.
But he was like Danny Rose. He was like, he used to be like big stuff, but now he's not. He's it's like, but he had an automatic entry into the Montreal Comedy Festival, and that's why I signed with him for that thing, and they fought him. Because it was the new faces in comedy. Well, he's not a new face. He's 40. I was 40 at the time. Yeah. I was 4.
Well, that had to. In all honesty, as funny as you are, when you're out there and you're 40, that works against you.
Oh my God!
They want. I mean, look at
West
Rob.
Coast Mitch was 22 when I met him. He was like my little brother. I took him under my wing. He was lying and saying he was 19. I just turned 40. Which back then I'm thinking I'm old. Wouldn't you kill to be 40?
Right.
Okay.
Look at now Robbie Prince's son, Ethan.
Yeah.
That kid's going to go places.
Yeah.
He started at 15 years old, 14,
I worked with him
15.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
He was great.
And the kid's really does a great job. He did a joke one night that I let him do the Children's Hospital benefit, 450 people, and he gets on stage. He's 16 years old. His first joke was, he goes, "How you doing? I'm 16. I've been sober for 10 years." Oh my God! I almost fell off. I almost fell off the chair.
He knocked it out the other night, last Thursday night up in Tewksbury.
Yeah.
We had only 30 people in the room.
Yeah.
And he was killing it.
Yeah, his father was funny.
No, he was. Why did something happen?
No,
to him?
I mean, was growing up.
Yeah, I know. Now, Paul. Now, here's something that. Now, Paul, in case if anybody home there doesn't know this, Paul wrote this sitcom years ago. And what did you call it?
A Fine Mess.
A Fine Mess.
You know what's funny? I'm going to watch that. Some people wanted to see it. I'm going to watch it at my friend's house tomorrow night.
All right. So let me just finish my
go
thought.
Go ahead.
Then
I'm
you
sorry.
Then
No,
that's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
That's all right, Paul.
No,
you see how he gets, Paul?
No,
he's
because
fine.
I'm making a point. I
He's
want to
fine.
make a point
Yeah.
here. So now it's about Paul being a relationship expert, but his relationships aren't really that great, which makes him better at giving advice. That's how it is. It's like being a baseball player. When you sucked as a player, you end up being a good manager.
No. What it was is Patty Ross, my dear friend Patty Ross, and if anybody wants to contribute, I started a GoFundMe page for Patty. She needs help whenever we can. So whenever we can get the word out.
We'll definitely we'll give that information.
Anyway, so Patty was my wife, and we've been high school sweethearts. And I'm like Dr. Phil. I even made book covers with Patty and I, like, oh, you
Yeah,
know, love,
I seen
love
them.
and,
I
and
seen
things
them.
and stuff. And the reason why I'm so popular and we are very successful is because I'm the relationship guru, but we hate each
Yeah,
other now.
but-
After all this time, and Patty's, you know, she built like a bulldozer, and so next door to me, and this is the best. Next door to me, remember Bewitched Gladys
Yeah.
Kravitz?
Oh, yeah. Bob Seibel.
Is Bob
yeah.
Seibel. His wife is Gladys,
Yeah.
from Rhode Island. So, and Bobby's like looking over there. He's going, I got to catch him fighting because he's ruining my divorce business and
Yeah.
everything. And Frank, you know who was in that? Frank Santarelli was in that. Allison Dunbar, who was in The Sopranos. Frank was in The Sopranos also. We had people from the what's that murder mystery they used to have in Boston? The you know, there was people interact.
Yeah,
They used to do
yeah,
it
yeah.
down the Blue Man Group place. Yeah. Sheer Madness. Yeah, we had great.
See-
Peter Boyle's sister. Peter Boyle.
Oh, wow.
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Peter
right.
Boyle's sister was
Well,
played
the
Patty's,
point-
Patty's
let,
mother.
let Johnny finish.
The point I was trying to make.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. The point I was trying to make. I totally believe that sometimes things come out at the wrong time, and I think that if that was to come out today and you went up, that I think would be a hit.
Okay.
I really
Here's
mean that.
the opposite of what you said. I had three big production companies in L.A. interested.
Yeah.
You said the timing. I went out to L.A. for meetings with them. I had meetings all week with them, literally like the month that reality TV hit.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
every meeting they just like totally ignore me. Go, no, we're going in a new direction. We got this new thing. Reality
Yeah.
doesn't cost us anything. If you got an idea for that, come back.
Yeah.
I go, well, yeah, but what about this? No.
Well,
no,
reality TV is starting to fade.
But what
and-
it was a new way to have a show without a budget.
Of course, that
know?
it was the ruination of
So it
sitcoms
was
and
the,
stuff.
The only bad thing about this sitcom is that these characters that I put, Bob's not around, and
Yeah.
Patty's incapacitated and stuff like. That's what really made it too.
Yeah, but
was
you
the
could,
characters.
but the idea is, you could still get people to fill those spots.
Yeah.
Unquestionably, Patty Ross is a terrific. She has such a great demeanor on camera, but then again, she has that same demeanor off camera too. But no, but you could get other people to put. I just think that now is such a great time to have that going, because it was a fantastic concept. And it just that sometimes things come out the wrong time, and maybe that at the wrong time was.
But with social media now, why couldn't you put like a 5-minute clip, Paul?
I have a trailer for it.
That's what I'm saying. Put a 5-minute clip at a time and just push the hell out of it.
I wrote it. I financed it. I found the locations.
You did everything.
I cast it. I paid for it. I actually started it, and we got in 2 or 3 days filming, and I scrapped the whole idea and fired the director. He was a phony. He told me he'd done all this stuff. He had no idea what he was doing. It was a disaster. And even though it was going to cost me a lot of money, I said,
Have you
I
put
fired everybody, started over, and the people I got were the videographer. He was magnificent. He on the budget we had, what he did with the lighting and stuff was amazing.
Have you put anything out there on social media regarding clips of the?
No. After a while, you get beat up. You lose your ambition a little bit.
I know, but
you're
you
just
still
happy to.
just get it out there. I'm
Like
just
I tell these guys concerning this podcast, you only fail if you give up. You
Yeah, that's
only
true.
quit. So I mean, you could cast new people. It would take a while. It would take a lot of work. You know what I mean?
I actually looked in.
Finding the right
I
people.
actually looked. Nobody obviously is going to give me a chance to. So I just over the last couple of weeks, I looked into financing my own Netflix special, and they have so many technical. I saw that it's like way out of how much it would cost. It's like crazy.
You know, Eddie Regine just filmed. He filmed a special, right?
Did he?
Yeah, along with Barry Katz.
Oh yeah, actually Barry. I called Barry up about that.
But you know how much money? Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you off
Yeah,
stage.
big money,
off,
6
yeah.
figures.
Just a little less than 6.
Yeah.
Paul, let me ask you a question. This particular, what we're talking about, fine mess. If you ever put a couple of fillers out there and advertised looking for actors to fill in Patty's position, Bob Seibel's spot. I mean, you never.
Yeah, I think that ship is. I don't think I'm gonna really pursue that
Yeah.
much. You know, it just.
But what about selling the concept, Paul?
That's what I'm talking about. The concept with different actors.
Yeah, I mean, you could be in the background and maybe writing a lot of the episodes. You don't have to be in it.
I could be the grandfather.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
You'd get a lot
The
of
great grandfather.
You get a ton of people that want to get into the acting, and this social media is a powerful tool. I mean, even what we do it here is.
Oh, let me write that down. Social media
I know who's
is
stealing lines
wow.
over here.
Social media is a powerful
Getting
tool.
back to the moon landing.
Somebody asked me today.
He's a very sick man.
I am a very sick man tonight.
Somebody asked me today. He said, "Paul, are you following the World Cup?" You know what my answer was?
What?
I would rather go up to a total stranger and watch their wedding video than to watch a soccer match.
I have to agree with you, man. I am so not into soccer.
And I was a soccer official. I was a FIFA. I was a high school soccer official. Didn't know nothing. I knew the rules, but that was about it. But I could. My first year, I was doing Division I high school
Wow.
soccer.
I remember you did that. That's another job.
Yeah,
there.
another
Look
job.
at that.
So
I was
you're
a
an
football
umpire,
football
coach.
official, coach.
That's
Yeah.
for people
Man,
that can't play sports.
I was a pretty decent athlete, Joseph.
Listen to Bust Off over here.
I'm a very sick man tonight. But no, Paul, I thought that concept was hysterical. I have the tape. I thought it was hysterical.
I'm
but
going to watch it. That
I
by total
think-
coincidence, I'm going to watch it with
I
some
think
guy.
you should really put
Come
it
on.
out there and say, basically, I'm looking for actors to fill these.
Maybe you guys will inspire me.
well,
Maybe
I
this
could
is
put a-
like,
I could-
maybe you people are inspirational. To
Well,
me.
you know, if you notice, Paul, every week we do this. We do an hour on YouTube, okay? And what I do when I go home, I condense it down to about 5 minutes, just to get it out there. It's
Yeah.
This sign behind you is
I
constantly.
have a trailer. I was looking for to see if I had the video on my computer. I had a trailer for it.
Send it to me, and I'll put a little. I could put a little edit
Okay.
together
And
for
we'll
you.
put it on social media.
Oh, the trailer.
man.
It's only like I think it's a 1 minute trailer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think.
Perfect. That's what's right now on social media. That is what's killing it.
Yeah.
You got to do
Wait
shorts.
a minute, Billy. Hold
Shorts.
on 1 second. What if
What?
he wanted to advertise for actors and actresses?
Well, that's
1
a whole
minute ain't gonna.
That's a
But
whole
that's a whole
close-
different.
Well,
That's
what
a
I'm
whole
talking
different
about,
thing.
your bird brain.
But you got to give them. You got to give them the minute first.
What's a minute gonna do though, Billy? If someone's
It only takes
you know
a
what?
minute.
You know.
Oh, let me write
Hey,
this
you
down.
know what? You guys have.
You should write this down because every time he go home and
Yeah.
and talk to Ava and ask her what he's going to do
I
in a
understand
minute.
what she said. That's a young kid. The young kids tell me what to
You
do.
guys,
a minute.
you guys have inspired me so much.
That you're going to go.
I'm going to go
home
and invest.
burn it.
I'm going to invest. I'm going to go home and invest in one of those casting couches that they
Yes,
talk about.
there you go. Yeah. There you
All right,
go.
Paul. If you could work with any comedian, past or present,
Oh,
who would it
Jesus.
be?
Johnny Peasy.
Well,
No, well,
can we do
he's
past,
past.
and present?
Yeah, no, yeah,
present,
yeah.
Present, I would love to meet Jerry Seinfeld or Larry David. I watch when I work out. I have the Larry David, those Curb Your Enthusiasm on a loop. Every season I watch the Seinfeld stuff. I would love to watch the two guys I'd never met. A comedian from the past.
Got to be Rickles in there.
I met Rickles once.
You did?
I went up. Yeah, I was at a restaurant, and he was with some people. I went up. I said, "Mr. Rickles," I said, "I'm a comedian from Boston. I moved out here just recently, and I just want to tell you, you were a big a role model. You inspired me, and one of my favorite comics." And I said, "And you're one of the reasons my father called me dummy." And he said, "My father called me dummy."
He said that. Yeah.
He said, "My father called me dummy."
And then he said, "Can't you see we're trying to eat here?"
Yeah, no, that's the people gave me. People looked at me like, "Oh, how dare you bother Mr. Rickles?" He was fine, but the people were,
Yeah.
they gave me the evil eye.
But he did that to Frank Sinatra. What I just said. He said Frank. He walked in. He said, "Listen, I'm trying to be with this girl."
Oh,
over
I
here,
like
right?
that.
He
That's
said,
a classic.
I want
Great
you to,
story.
I want you to come over. You know, let her know you know me. You know, I want to make it. He goes. So he went over. Yeah, he walks over. He says, "Hey, Donna, can't you see we're eating, Frank?"
Yeah.
Sinatra told a story to Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
It was
And
just,
Sinatra said, I went for the whole bit. I stood there with my mouth hanging down.
Yeah.
No, they were
That's
very
funny.
close. But I think Rickles to me and Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, those are my three top comics in my, as far as I'm concerned.
Paul and I think we both have this comedian who died, I think it's one of our favorite comedians, Rich Jenny.
Oh, Rich.
Rich Jenny.
It couldn't have been more of a dick to me.
Oh yeah, I know. He was a dick to everybody,
I was
though.
so
Paul.
disappointed.
Yeah, he was a dick to everybody.
Yeah, somebody introduced me to him and said, "Oh, we love Paul," and he just turned his back on me. And it's like, man, you were my hero. You
But
know?
he was a great comic.
Magnificent.
Oh my
His
God! I mean,
specials,
this guy could write
Brilliant.
a whole act every.
Is there
every
anything
night.
on YouTube with this guy?
Yes.
Oh,
Rich Jenny.
Shows you can't know
on
what's going on. So
go on YouTube and get Rich
Jenny.
Jenny's first show on Johnny Carson.
Jeni.
Yeah, Jen. I'm
I've
telling
never
you,
heard of him.
It's one of the
I worked with him.
funniest.
As soon as you see his face, you're gonna remember.
You
it.
know him, Billy?
You know, here's a he was another guy who they chastised. And there's another one. Bobby Slayton was another one of my favorites. And
Yeah, he was
and when
good.
I met him, the people that call me in Magic went, "Oh, you were just rude to Paul. He said you're one of his favorites, and you just like turned his back." And he came over like later. I was like watching the show after I was done, and he comes over. Hey, do you got my new CD? I go, no. He goes, I'll go get it for you. They must have like he had his tail.
I did
tucked
Showtime at
between
the
his
Apollo
legs.
with him.
Yeah?
With Bobby Slayton, yeah.
So
I was at the Laugh Factory. I was at the Laugh Factory for a taping for whatever comedy, whatever it was like a young comedians type special, and I was there, and Otto and George were on that were on that show, and I was in the audience for that, and Don Mario was the host of it.
I don't talk like that. Do you? So Paul, here's my Bud Friedman story, right? So it was like my first time going out to L.A. So the first place I go to was the Improv, because I was staying at the I was staying in Santa Monica. I went right up the street. So I see Bud Friedman. I go, oh my God, there's Bud Friedman. Oh my God. So he comes over, and I said, hey Bud, I just want to say, Dick Doherty says hi, and he went, fuck Dick Doherty.
Really?
Yeah, and I went like this.
Remember there was an improv over there.
Yeah, and he walked
Yeah.
away, right?
Was he not like Dick
No.
Doherty?
Yeah. Well, they were a partner.
There was an improv in Boston where Duck
and-
Soup
yeah,
was.
Duck Soup. So anyway, and I just sat there and went, oh my God, what did I just do? Oh my God. And then about 15 minutes later, he come over and he goes, look, I'm sorry. I could see you look like you were going to,
Oh wow.
yeah, you're still white as a ghost, he said to me. He goes, yeah, we had a little falling out. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because of Dick Doherty.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh
Bud,
my
if
God.
you recall, I first met Bud when I won the Johnny
won
Walker
the
con
Johnny Walker,
1989, I think it was, and they sent me
Yeah.
out to L.A. Yeah, and that's how
Did
I
you
first
work
met
for
him.
Dick Doherty, Paul?
Everybody did.
Yeah.
We used
Yeah.
to do shows up at Grill 93, and
Yeah.
he was always there. There was a little room, and there was the big
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
And we used to have a legend show back in those days, and when the comedy shows didn't sell well, they put us in the big room because we sold every week for some reason. We weren't that great, but when we had that little room, I used to love that little, like a rectangular.
The intimacies.
Yeah, the
I used to go see him in Hyannis at the Crystal Palace. He was one of the first
Really?
Who,
original.
Dick Doherty?
Yeah, when he was one of the original.
Was he a stand-up?
happy hour? No, he did a happy like the John Morgan and
A lot of people liked him.
and
I heard a
Jim
lot of.
Plunkett and all those guys that did the guitar things, the
Right.
happy hours.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people. There were mixed reviews with him. Some people loved him. Some
Who's
people.
that?
Dick Doherty.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't know him well. I knew him a
All
little
I
bit.
knew was the name, Dirty Dick Doherty.
Dirty
That's all.
Dick Doherty. And the majority.
Yeah.
He was always. But anything else you got to add for the moon landing, Johnny?
Oh, here's my only thing. Here's my take on this, and the only thing that
glad.
really caused a problem for me. That happened 57 years ago.
1969.
I looked it up. Pong. Remember Pong was the first. It was the thing. It was just a
boom,
Pong,
boom,
and the
boom.
ball would go.
Yeah.
They didn't invent that until like 4 or 5 years after the moon landing.
Exactly. Early 70s.
That's how primitive the computer was,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We was 8 tracks. We were on 8 track. They
Bloop.
hadn't invented the
Bloop.
cassette yet. Yet, that's the only thing about. Yet, and now my phone has 100 times more computer capacity and that, but they haven't thought to go back again. That's the part that I get stuck with. Like,
You mean to tell me you don't believe in the moon landing?
No, I'm not saying.
I'm
saying.
Get me out of here.
That part of it bothers me.
Paul,
Why
but
we
Paul,
haven't gone
don't
back?
you realize when NASA...
They should have a shuttle there by now.
Well, first of
They
all,
should have unless fucking.
We should have a whole civilization up
unless
there.
Gavin Newsom is
now did you know
building it.
this?
What?
You know Carrot Top?
Yes.
Okay, Carrot Top's father helped develop the Land Rover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a credible source. I'm convinced now. I mean, the guy who pulls shit out of a suitcase and it looks like a
Yeah, but
Muppet.
he's also had a show in Las Vegas for
yeah,
30 years.
Oh, much
so-
bigger than me, that's for sure. Yeah.
Multi-millionaire.
And
he
justice
knows-
for all.
But he knows nothing about the moon landing. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know. Billy and I agree, and Johnny just won't submit.
Because I've gave you evidence.
What
that
evidence?
There is still material on the moon.
How do you know? Says who?
Get a high power, and you could see the
But
equipment
who
still
told-
there.
But where are you getting your information from? The
Is it
government?
Where would I look? Between the eyes of the man and the
all right,
moon?
listen,
Is it
when I
between
get my
his
helmet
eyes?
next week, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
You-
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 a lot of people with problems have helmets.
Yeah, that's how you took. I was going to say.
That's a good one. that's a good one.
You see that,
Yeah.
folks?
On
You see
that
this?
note-
You
That's
see
a good
this?
one.
You
Yeah,
see
you got to
this?
give him credit.
On
was
that
good.
note, Billy, let's bring it home
Yeah,
because
okay.
Johnny's going to start. I know he's just looking for a fight. Paul,
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Paul D'Angelo, Joey Canzano, Johnny Peasy, and myself. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. We want you guys to join us. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, please subscribe. Hit that button if you love our content. And follow us on Facebook as well. We love you. We'll see you next Monday night. God bless you. Straight Up Talk Boston.